Today's extra channel video, we are going to be doing some real work. And that is fixing the rear AC unit or the chassis on the 96 Newell. I think this was Alan Jr.'s, Robbie Gordon's Red Bull guy. Go check out the Newell playlist on the main channel if you want to see more of the history on this thing. The front two units are in there. The very front unit is on the bottom. The middle one, which is broken now, is on the top. I just changed the condenser fan on the bottom one there. Got that going for the first time since I've owned this thing. I already did it on that one last summer, but then something else broke, so I gotta figure that out. But this unit right here is the rear one for the back of the bus. At first it did not work either at all. You'd flip the thermostat on and it would just blink. Like the light would just come and go. Wouldn't even try to blow air, not even cold air, would do anything. So I disconnected the thermostat from the non-working center basement unit and hooked it up back there, turned it on, and it blew air, and it actually fired the compressor up. But the fan was not going on at the same time. So I knew that it was the fan motor, which I already know how to replace because I've done it twice up there. It's pretty easy, and we're going to show you how to do it here. On these things, the fan motor is supposed to kick on at the same time as the compressor. They're powered by the same thing. So if one is running without the other, you know you got a problem somewhere in there. But the issue is, these things are so dang old that they don't make direct replacement motors for them anymore. But through the Newell Guru forums, people have found out that this motor you can get from Granger, this 3RCX4 series motor, I guess one has a B on it, will work. And that is what I have used on the other two. And to make this work, you have to mod it a little bit. The polarity is wrong. It's reversible. The way it comes out of the box, you will have to change it. Yeah, flip it around so it's not lined up. That makes it spin the other way. I learned that the hard way. When I did the one last summer, I got it all put in, and the fan was running, but it was still shut the compressor off from overheating. I'm like, God damn, what is wrong with this thing? So, just like took it apart, flipped that around, thought maybe it's just not blowing air in the right direction because I didn't know how hard it was supposed to blow. Turned out that fixed it. So I did that right off the gate in the other one, and it worked fine. So we're gonna do that right off the gate here. And I guess we could just lift this thing out of the way, and we'll get the cover off of here. These are just little like 8mm 5/16 ones. I don't think this one's ever been apart before. It's in the best shape. The one up there, it had been apart, had the compressor replaced because the top didn't even fit back on. It was like all zip screwed, janked together. And the cover for it was, I mean, this is like the shroud. It's hodgepodge, definitely not original. Carfax said this thing had some kind of collision in the right or the left front at one point. I don't know if that has something to do with it or not. This lifts right off. This should, if I got all the bolts out, which I did not. There's still one more. So this is what you got going on in here. This is the compressor. This is the squirrel cage fan, and that's the motor that we're going to be changing in there. And the way to get that out is not these little isolated ones here, but these screws on the outside of this perimeter bowl. You're going to take those out, and we're going to need to take these out too to kind of get the condenser fins away to get some more room out of here. On the front ones is a little bit easier because it's turned like this, so you can lift it out like that. I think I could probably, there's enough room in these lines to take this and set it on something, so I might try to do that. I don't know. We're gonna figure that out. But moving right along, we're gonna have to mod this a little bit, but we'll get there. If you like this stuff, send it to your friends that watch the main channel too. Or if you've never seen my main channel, you're just an RV person, go back on the main channel and watch all the old stuff on the Newell playlist. I used to do stuff like this all the time and just kind of stopped showing it because it hurt the performance of everything else. That's why we started the second channel, to you know, we got to do this crap anyway. Might as well show it to somebody. But this is our only means of survival, so we can't do things that jeopardize the performance of the main channel. That's why the second one's here, so we can do kind of off the wall, you know, whatever we got to do, things like this. And if they help somebody, great. If they entertain somebody, great. We want you to learn things here. This is basic AC component fundamental stuff. I've learned so much about air conditioning systems from this dang motorhome. It's unbelievable. So hopefully you learn something too, even if you don't have a Newell that needs an AC replaced. It helps to pull these screws out of here too, to get the fins out of the way. I felt real bad that I messed these up, because this thing is like pristine right now. It's the only one that doesn't have any dents in it. That one over there is absolutely beat. But got all the screws out. And we got to cut these wires, the brown, the white, and the black. We're just going to cut them because the white and the black will get connected again. The brown one, tape that off, leave it out of the way. We'll show you what to do with that later. So we're just going to grab them all, do-do-do, do-do-do-do, snip them all off. And this thing, he's got a it's got a flat spot on it there, so you can get it past this line. Kind of helps you get it out. A little harder to do with my hand, but we got it. That's really tight. Really tight. Doesn't want to spin at all. I read that the typical cause for failure on those motors is the bushings in them go bad, they lock up. Seems to be the case here. So now we will take this assembly inside with the other motor and put them together. Now we got to get the start capacitor off of the motor case. Take those two nuts off there. Keep this bracket because we're going to zip it in somewhere else. And we have to cut these studs off because the band that holds the motor will get in the way. On the forum they say you got to cut all these off, and you don't. You don't have to shorten the shaft, you don't have to cut this off. Just cut these off and you'll be good. So we're going to do that real quick. With this thing, pretty awesome tool to have while sitting around. Well, got the assembly put back together. Just kind of keep it all loose until you figure out, you know, get the distance between the fan blades and the shroud all kind of right. Cut that ground off, you don't got to worry about that. All we're going to do is connect the black and white to the black and white in here, and the brown one that goes to the capacitor over here does not get used because the motor uses the capacitor that it comes with. So we're going to screw that somewhere else once we get that finagle back in here. But we are on the home stretch, it's going good. So we got to put back in, wires hooked up, mocked up. It's not bolted together, but turn the thermostat on inside. Usually takes 4 or 5 minutes or so before it will actually kick the compressor on, but it's blowing air in there, so any minute now this thing is going to fire up or it's not. We will find out soon. The reason I don't bolt it all back together is because when I did the first one last summer, I bolted it all back together. I thought, yeah, this is gonna work, I gotta figure it out, and then it didn't. Then I thought, yeah, this is gonna work, I gotta figure it out, and it didn't. So I had unbolt, bolt it back up, unbolt, bolt it back up, like 4 different times. So we're testing it first, gonna make sure it works, and then we will bolt the whole thing back up.
It's okay, take your time.
God just shut the GoPro off and it turned on. Look at that. It's blowing. It's blowing. It's gonna blow cold air for the first time ever. I got this. And once I screw it all back together, it'll make less noise, but gonna work. I'm confident. It's spinning the right way or it wouldn't be moving that much air. I could feel it on my leg. This is great. Oh, this is great. wish I would have done this a year ago, because when we moved from Texas to North Carolina, we had to sleep back there. It was hot. So there was only one AC unit working, the one on the roof. It was just hot. It was bad. Anytime I think about that trip, it just gives me hives. That was like the most stressful, high tension state of my life to date. But we did it. I will say Logan and my mom are animals in a good way. Like, we freaking killed it with that. That was broken, lesser people. I can feel it sucking in the air here. Now what'll happen when the condenser fan doesn't work is you'll hear the compressor in there going like it's running, and you will feel heat right here because it's not pulling the heat out of this. Because after the Freon gets compressed and sprayed through its nozzle and, you know, does its evaporation, atomization that makes it cold, it has to get re-liquefied. What that does, that is hot. When you compress things, it makes heat. That's why the AC in your car works better when you're on the highway. If you got a sucky car like we do, doesn't move much air, sitting in traffic. Just sitting here editing this footage now, I could say that that AC has been running for a couple days. Real good, knock on wood. Same with the replaced motor in the front, it's been doing good. Yeah, you order from Granger, it's like $100. Flip those wires around, that connector to reverse the polarity, just do that. Leave that brown wire, leave the brown wire out of the way from the original capacitor, and just hook black to black, white to white, bolt it back in, you're good. Yeah, and you cut the studs off and zip the capacitor in somewhere else. I just zip screwed it to the blower housing on the squirrel cage fan. But that's it. It's pretty easy. I hope this helps somebody who might be boiling in their old Newell. If it has, go watch my older videos, because, you know, I got videos chasing down air leaks and things like that that may help you too. But we're glad you're here. We're really glad to have this second channel going, because I really miss being able to show stuff like this, knowing that it may help somebody in a pinch. It's not a good feeling knowing that we have potentially helpful information that is being withheld because we got to make a living. And that's as simple as it is. It sucks to have, you know, appease an algorithm or make it. You just think, I'm just going to do whatever I want. You can, but it will hurt you. And with the way things are now, we can't afford to take a hurt. So start a second channel. Instead of taking a hurt on the first one, we will turn it into a productive thing on the second one, connect with you guys better, show you more stuff, help more people. And that's really, really cool. Leave a comment what you want to see next if you thought this was interesting or anything. We're really active with those. We appreciate it. And we will see you on the next video.